Absolutely. Hey guys, this is Dr. Callahan for week 18 Monday for Algebra 2 semester 2. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. So pause the video, answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up log, and just keep in mind that your warm-up log, and of course my pen stops working right now, is going to be due on week 19 Friday. So that's next Friday. So just expect that. Okay, there we go. We have one pen that works. So week 19 Friday is when your warm-up log is going to be due. And so just keep that in mind. All right, so looking at this right here, you guys, your final for this class is going to be on third period for June 6th, which is that Monday. And it is going to be for third period at 7:45 a.m. So just keep that in mind. Today is the 16th of May. So today is week 18. Next week is week 19. And the following week is week 20. That Monday is a holiday, so you will not be here. It's a 3-day weekend. And then after that is week 21, which is that Monday. And that's when your final is going to be. That starts at 7:45. So keep in mind that if you're going to be more than 15 minutes late, you will not be admitted to class. So just make sure you show up on time. If you're going to be late, don't be more than 15 minutes late. Okay. All right, so all students in Washoe County will be taking the same test as you guys. It's going to be in the format multiple choice, fill in the blank, and multiple select. You will have a Scantron, and the computer will be grading it. When you guys walk into this class, all personal belongings needs to be along the wall. You do not have access to your backpack during the duration of the test. 2 hours is a long time, I agree. So bring a bottle of water and keep it underneath your desk. No cell phone or iWatches. I will be collecting your cell phones before you guys sit down on your desk. Keep in mind your safety grades is 75%. Your final is worth 15% of your grade. After the final, you will need 60% or better to pass. When you're done with the final, you just bring it up to me. I'm going to grade it right then and there. And it's my hope that before you guys leave, I will have everything inserted onto Infinite Canvas so you know exactly whether you're going to be passing or not passing this class. Or if you're passing, what grade do you have? So we're going to be reviewing your study guide starting in the middle of this week. We still have a few things to go over with your last unit, and then we'll be done with that. Then you take your final week 21, just kidding, Monday at 7:45 a.m. And that is it, you guys. This is the end of the rope. And next year, you guys will all become seniors. So yay for that. All right, so what can you have on the common district final? You have a TI-84, answer Scantron. I'll give you a number 2 pencil. You have a specific test book that is assigned to you. So you can write inside the book, but there's no scratch paper. Your grades for this class is as follows. It's from a 5 to a 10. Obviously, you need a 6 or better to pass. So you get those based on the check marks of the things that you turn in, and then also your scores on your Math Excel and assignments from there. All right, so then let's go and take a look at your YouTube channel to see how many videos you guys currently have. I know the video on Friday was not uploaded, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, actually. So right now you have about 80 videos on there, so let me go ahead and find the one for week 17 Friday. That's not it. Okay. That one is it. And so on week 17 Friday, we talked about solving logarithm with properties of log. It is our 4th day discussing this topic. And so let me go ahead and rename this. Move it over. And upload it onto Teams, or not Teams, on the YouTube channel for you guys. So let's go ahead and hit upload. Hopefully it's going there. It's a little bit slow, but that's okay. It's getting there. All right, here we go. So if you're not here on Friday, that video is available for you guys to view publicly. And I'll just hit publish. And then I'm going to put it in the correct playlist. And there you go. So now you guys should have that available for you guys to view as well. Okay. So what did we do last class on Friday? If you were not here, we talked about a review basically of population growth. We went over the calculators. We went ahead and did everything that we've learned about logs and units up to this unit. And so we then went over to conversion form of converting logs from expanded to condensed with and without a calculator. And then lastly, I basically had you guys do a little bit of practice problem, but the answers were given to you guys. So yeah, that's what we did on Friday. So today I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and continue with this, and you guys have your guided notes. We're gonna go over a few practice problems. I'll give you guys a QR code for the answers as well. We're gonna do an exit Padlet, and then the only thing you need to have today is your TI-84 calculator. So come on and grab that. And then also make sure you grab a highlighter. So here you go. So come up and grab those items. If you have not turned in your poster that you were supposed to do with your sub, make sure you have that turned in, because I am giving you guys your check marks for that. And so far, I don't have a ton of you guys who turned that in. So that was from week 17, Thursday. Oh, perfect. And I'll check you out for that. And so if you have not done that yet, you want to make sure you complete it. Because that was the one thing I had to turn in from the last class. Oh, no, just right. TI-84 and the highlighter. So that was from week 17, Thursday. So if you just basically sat on your butt and kind of chill down the day with a sub, you have a missing until you guys turn that in. So just make sure you watch the video, get that done, and then turn that in. So for the 2 people that turned it in today, you guys have your check marks for that. So yeah. All right, so with that said, I'm gonna go over this page right here on your guided notes. And so if you could turn over to that, I will go over one question for practice, and then I'm gonna have you guys go over the questions for practice on your own. And that's where we'll do in that order. So we will kind of end this unit probably by Wednesday or Thursday. And then I'm thinking about starting the study guide process with you guys on Friday and all of next week. So that's kind of like what I'm aiming for. Thank you. Before I do this, since we're talking about passing and failing, etc., if you guys go to your Algebra 2 on Teams, you will be able to see that there is a poster for summer school that is going to be offered over at Sparks Middle School. It's not going to be a hug because this building is going to get demolished, obviously, right after graduation. And so it is going to be for 3 weeks. I'm actually running that program over at Sparks Middle School. And so I have a really awesome team of amazing teachers that will be there to help you guys. It is going to be Monday through Friday, and you don't have to be there on campus during that entire day. You can actually work on this at home. But it is for 3 weeks, and it's a great way to kind of get rid of your PE, health, computer credits. I know, can you imagine doing PE on this? I had a freshman that actually got rid of all of his PE credit just in one summer, because you're not expected to run or anything. You just have to watch the video and then answer the question. So he got 2 credits, 2 years worth of credit for PE completely done during 8th grade summer. And so he's a freshman in my class right now, and he doesn't have to do PE at all, which is great, because when his senior year comes, he doesn't have to be here for 6th period or have a 1st period. You know what I mean? And so the registration is with those 2 QR codes. And so if you need it, you're welcome to go ahead and do that. It's also on Teams. If you're like, but I don't know if I'm going to be available, you can always register right now. And if you can't make it, that's fine. But if you register later, you might not be able to get it. It is free. And so it's a great way for you to just get rid of all your PE credit, computer credit, and health credit. If you're like, can I take math on Edgenuity? You absolutely can, but let me just tell you, math on Edgenuity is not easy. And so I would say that if you want to have like less classes in your junior and senior year, I would highly, highly recommend get rid of your PE and your computer and health credit. But there's also other credits you can take as well, like psychologies is not too bad on there. Any of the history and English classes are not too difficult. Math and science are a little bit more challenging. That's why a lot of students say, just pass your math classes while you're in person, because doing the math portion on Edgenuity, it's not easy. It's very difficult, but it's not impossible. It just requires a lot more work. Okay, so that is a QR code. So if you're interested in registering for summer school, you have that available. Is Alexander here in class today? Alexander? Alex? Nope. Okay. All right, it's on Teams. So if you guys need it, you do have that available. Let's go on to this part. All right, does anybody need a copy of this by chance? Anyone need a copy? Pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and get started with today. I'm going to go ahead and go over question number 1 with you guys. And so if you take a look at question number 1, okay, the way that you go about solving for logs is that they both have to have log base 7 on both sides. So with your highlighters, we're just going to highlight that to make sure it is there on both sides. And if you have that on both sides, ladies, do you guys have your notes with you today? Make sure you have your notes out, okay? Do you need a copy, or do you have your notes? Make sure you have your notes. So then you can cancel out the log, and then you have 3x plus 1 equals 4x minus 8. And then it's just like solving, right? So if you're going to solve for this, let's subtract the 3x on both sides. And if you subtract the 3x on both sides, you gotta add the 8 on both sides. So x is on one side, numbers on the other side. And then with your second highlighter, you should be able to just cancel the 3x, cancel the 8. And then you're left with 1 plus 8 is a 9, 4 minus 3 is a 1x. So your answer is just x equals 9. And that's it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. For number 2, it's a little bit different, okay? So instead of logs, you have ln. So first thing I want to do, and remember, how do you get rid of an ln? You make sure there's an e with it because they will cancel. First thing I want to do is I want to get rid of that 9. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the 9 because I want to get rid of that. And then I also want to get rid of that -3 right there. So that's another one that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to highlight those numbers. So next, what I'm going to do is opposite of a positive 9 is a -9. So the -9 on both sides. So then my 9 cancels and I have a -3 ln x equals 4 minus 9 is a -5. I don't like having that negative right there. So my next goal is to get rid of that negative. How do you get rid of a negative when it's multiplied? Well, then you can just divide it by a -1 because a -3 and a -1 cancels with a negative, and you have 3 ln equals -5 divided by -1 is a +5. Now that 3 is a pesky 3, but remember, you could technically bring it up as an exponent. So you have ln x squared equals 5. Oh, not squared, cube, sorry, cube is a 3, not a 2. And then now you can get rid of the ln by putting an e on both sides. And what happens with that is that ln and e cancels, and you have x cubed equals e to the 5th power. And this is where you need your calculator, because your algebra only takes you up to so far, and then after that, you need to have your calculator. And that's a big difference between algebra 1 and algebra 2, is that algebra 1, you don't need a calculator at all. Algebra 2, you definitely need to have your calculator because you won't be able to finish the problem. Okay, so turn on your calculator, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do e to the 5th power. So second, e to the 5th power. Enter, and that's what you have. But do you see how it's an x cubed? How do you get rid of a cube? Isn't opposite of a cube is a cube root? So you're gonna go to math, go down to number 4, and do you see the cube root button right there? You hit enter, so you have the cube root button like that. And then you're like, I don't want to type in 148.413 blah 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 because it takes too long. So here's a shortcut. Do you see the little arrow, the up arrow right here on the upper right side? You push the up arrow and it highlights your last answer in turquoise blue. Do you see that? Hit enter and boom. Do you see how it just brings that down to your calculator so you don't have to type it in? And then hit enter again and your answer is 5.29. And that's one of the things that's different about algebra 2 versus algebra 1 is that you do have to learn how to use your calculators in order to solve for things. And so, I mean, I guess that could be a good thing or a bad thing, you know, but I think it's pretty awesome that you have like these little shortcuts that you can do. And I find them to be pretty useful for the most part. So that is your answer, you guys. All right, let's go on to question number 3. And I'm going to move this up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so for question number 3, you have, and I'm going to highlight this so you can see it. You have a log base 3 and a log base 3. Do you see how there's 2 logs on the same side? Then in which case you want to condense them. So there's a minus, so that means there's going to be a divide. So log base 3, 4 goes on top, x goes on the bottom, equals log base 3, 8. With your second highlighter, make sure you highlight log base 3 and log base 3. And because you have the same one on each side, you can just go ahead and cancel them. And then you have 4 over x equals 8. Whoops. Your goal is to get the x by itself. So how do I go about solving for that? We're going to just put a 1 underneath the 8. And then with your highlighters, you're just going to crisscross multiply. Like that. Which if you look at it, x times 8 is 8x. 4 times 1 is a 4. If you divide it by 8 on both sides, x equals 0.5 or 1/2. And that is your answer. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. For number 4, this is another version of how to solve. It's a little bit different, okay? So you know that your base for number 4 is 3, but then I have a 9 right there. In order for me to solve for this and cancel it, they both have to have 3. They have to have the same number. So is there any way for me to make this 9 into a 3? I don't know about you, but I think 3 square will work, right? 3 squared, but then you cannot forget the existing exponent, x plus 3. So make sure you include it together. And then you have a 3 here and a 3 here. They're exactly the same. So then you can go ahead and just cancel them. And then just bring down x minus 1 equals 2 times x plus 3. And then it's just simplifying and solving, right? So if you distribute that 2 into your parenthesis, you get a 2x plus 6. And then what I'm going to do next is let's go ahead and subtract the x on both sides. And then subtract the 6 on both sides. And if you're like, I already know where we're going with this, you can continue on. Cancel out the x and the 6. You get a -7 and 1x. So your answer is x equals -7. And that's it. So far, you've seen 4 different versions of how to solve for log. And this is a review. And I know it's not easy because, you know, it's not just like direct of figuring out how to do this. You got to use all the properties that we've learned from the last 2 weeks. So we started this on week 16, week 17, and now we're on week 18, Monday. So it's actually our starting third week of going over this material. And if you're like, I don't remember a lot of these properties, you might want to watch the videos on YouTube from week 16, Monday through Friday, and week 17, Monday through Friday to get yourself caught up. All right, let's go on to number 5, you guys. So number 5 is another different version. And you're like, dang it, why don't any of these like repeat? They're not repeating because we're not done with all the versions yet. But for number 5, you see log base x 16 equals 4. So another way of rewriting this, remember, is you take the x to the 4th power equals 16. So it's x to the 4th equals 16. So if you're like, what is my answer for this? Well, is there anything to the 4th power equals 16? You could think of it that way. And the only number that works is a 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 give you 16. And given the fact that both of these numbers on top is a 4, you can cancel it. And then you're left with x equals 2 as your answer. That's one way of doing this, okay? Another way of doing this is with your calculator. So I'm gonna bring my calculator up. Now, you know that to get rid of an x to the 4th, you have to do a 4th root, right? And so this is where it's kind of hidden. You go to math. Do you see number 5 where there is like an x with a square or like with a root? So you want to use that one because your roots only go up to cube root, which is number 4. But number 5, you can put whatever number you want there. Obviously, you want the number 4. So I'm going to put 4 right there. Inside, I'm going to put 16, enter, and guess what? It gives you a 2. So 2 different ways for you guys to figure this one out. And quite frankly, if you just know how to use your calculator, you could technically use your calculator on the entire final without showing any work, if you know and you're savvy enough to know how to use your calculator. Okay, let's take a look at number 6. Okay, for number 6, first thing I want to do is I don't like that there's a 6 in front of it. I'm sorry, 4. That 4 right there is really bothering me. And so what I want to do with that 4 is I'm going to take it and put it up here as an exponent. And you can do that. That's one of the rules that we went over. So you're left with log 7x minus 1. And you're like, what's the base? The base is 10, but they don't write it, okay? And then you're just going to have it to the 4th power equals 8. So then you're going to rewrite this. Remember, your base is 10, but they don't show it to you. So you write 10 to the 8 equals parentheses 7x minus 1 to the 4th power. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys how to solve for x just using a calculator. I'm not going to show any work on paper. So let's just go ahead and do this with a calculator. All right, so here's my calculator. And what I'm going to do with this is first I want to figure out what is 10 to the 8th power. So you hit 10, that little exponent, little triangle shape thing, push 8, enter. And you get 1 and 8 zeros. So that is like 10 million is what you get. Next, if you want to get rid of that 4th power, you got to do a 4th root. So we're going to go to math, go down to number 5, insert the 4 for the fourth root. And then for your answer, remember, you could type in 1 and 80, or you can be smart about it. Use your up arrow button, highlight your answer, enter, and it just brings it down naturally. Then enter again. Gives you 100. So now you got rid of that fourth power. So now you just have 7x minus 1. So what's opposite of a minus 1? A plus 1. So I'm going to add the 1. And then what's opposite of a times by 7? Divided by 7. And that's your answer. So do you see how like we didn't really do much work? We just rewrote it, and then we used our calculator to do majority of the work for us. And this is where you want to learn how to use your calculator, so that way you can do this on the test. So your answer for this is x is equal to 14.243. You can do it that way, yeah. You can try to look over. She was sitting over there by the guy who's sleeping with a white t-shirt. Yeah. Do you see it over there, Christian? Yeah. Okay, you can grab that. That's totally fine. Well, thanks for being a good boyfriend and doing that for her. All right, have a great day. All right, you guys. So now that I went over 6 questions with you guys, I'm gonna have you guys go over the following. So you're gonna go over number 8, 9, 7, and 10. Okay, so you're gonna work on those 4 questions. And then when you guys are done with that and you're like, did I do the answers right or wrong? Go to that QR code. I have the steps on the QR code to walk you through. So for those of you guys who are on Zoom, go ahead and do 7, 8, 9, and 10. The QR code's right here, which will take you guys to the page with the steps and my notes. So pause the video and answer the following questions. All right, you guys. So while you guys are still working on those last 4 questions, I'm going to make sure that you guys have your Math Excel assignment ready for this week. So you just go to Washoe County School District Math Excel on your Google taskbar, and then just hit the first one that pops up. And then you're going to sign in from home. And this is going to be yours for week 18. This also is going to be your last Math Excel. So yay for that, because we're kind of officially done with it. And so you have 18 Math Excel assignments on there. You can still make them up to June 2nd, which is a Thursday, right before final starts on that June 3rd. So anything there, you can still make up to June 2nd. After that, it's no bueno. Then I don't want to have it and deal with it anymore. So there is a 10 to 40% penalty, but it's better than getting an M, which is just a 50%. So even if you do something, it'll at least elevate you a little bit higher. So I'm just going to go over to the assignment manager. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you guys have everything open and available, which you guys do. And you know, I think last week I kind of forgot to assign you guys one for week 17. So there's no week 17 Math Excel apparently. So don't worry about week 17. But this will be your last one for week 18. And so it is going to be on log properties. And let's go ahead and edit that. So week 18 Monday, or actually let's just do week 18. And log properties document. Next. And it's only going to have 10 questions on there. So there are some extra ones, which I'm just going to take out. Remove. All right, so just 10 questions, you guys, and it is going to be due on the 22nd at 11 p.m. You have 3 tries for each question and assign. So then since I skipped week 18 or 17, I'm going to make sure you guys have a week 19, and I'm just going to go ahead and assign it right now, just so you have access to it. And so for that one, it is going to be on exponential and logarithm equations. I'm going to go ahead and hit edit. 19, Math Excel. Next. And I want to make sure that you guys only have 10 questions here. So let's get rid of one more. Okay, that one's gone. All right, so 10 questions right here. Next, and this is going to be due. I'm just going to have this due. I mean, you can't have anything due past the Friday. So, because then your final starts. I'm just going to put Thursday, since you have less than a week to do that. Or actually technically more than a week, but that's why I'm signing it earlier for you guys, so that way you have that. But 6/2 is the very last day for you to go ahead and turn anything in. And so let me go ahead and hit save and sign. All right, so now that you guys have everything there, you now have all the assignments from Math Excel available for you guys. Even the past ones that you guys have, it is still accessible up to 6/2, okay? So you do have that. I'm gonna try to edit this one because this one is not working very well. Let's go this way. Next, 6/2/22. But yeah, June 2nd is the last day for you guys to turn anything in, because then you have finals and I don't really want to have to deal with anything after that. Just change this one as well. Everything from week 1 to week 19 is available for you guys. And yeah, you just have to get some of that stuff done. Modify this one. I think I have one more that I need to change the due date on because it goes back or past the 6/2 due date. Or no, there's 2 more. Dang it. All right, that's okay. We'll just get this done. All right, so everything is already there for you guys. Everything is due on 6/2, so you just need to get to it and make it up. And that's basically it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next part, you guys. So you finished the 10 questions. Hopefully you have access to this. And so you should be able to have the QR code and the steps right there as well. So yeah, you should have that. So next, what I want you guys to do is go to the following QR code and then fill out the Google form. This is going to be your reflection, and then I have an exit ticket, and then we'll just call it a day. So for those of you guys on Zoom, you can either type in the link or you can use another device for your QR code and go ahead and answer the following questions. Please use your real name. Hey, if you're done with the following 10 questions and the Google form submission, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part of this. I'm not going to start the new notes today, but we will continue that on next class. So then all right, this is gonna be for your reflection. I'm gonna show you guys a video. The question is, what is the highest GPA that you guys have seen so far? I know it's out of 4.0, but you guys do know that you can get above a 4.0 if you take AP classes where your grades are a little bit more weighted. But this actually I saw over this weekend, and this one particular student has broken all of the highest GPA in Clark County School District, which is in Las Vegas. And this student has a 6.15 GPA that she will have at the end of her senior year. So I'm going to share this video with you guys, which I thought was very inspiring. And then I'm going to have you guys do your reflection on that one. Okay. Anyways, I thought that was like a very inspiring video, and it happened in CCSD, which is Clark County School District, so in Las Vegas in the state of Nevada, and it just happens for this year as well. So she's gonna be going to Harvard for the 2022 school year. So I thought, how awesome is that? All right, so this is your reflection. So go to the following Padlet, and these are the following questions. One is, what are your thoughts? Number 2, what is the highest GPA that you've seen at Huck High School or maybe at other school? I think the highest one I've seen was like a 5.53, and that was from last year. Last year we had our valedictorian and salutatorian that literally had a difference of 1/110th of a GPA percentage. To be considered the valedictorian, the highest scoring, or the second highest scoring, which is the salutatorian. So the competition is pretty fierce sometimes. Number 3, should GPA matter for college admission and scholarship determination? Should other factors also be considered instead? And 4, what strategies can students use to raise their GPA that you've used that has been helpful? And so that is your reflection for today, you guys. So go ahead and do that.